Told you the artillery was loud. The artillery, deciding that they don't like to be shot at, have fired back. At this range, they'll be firing a solid iron ball. It doesn't explode, but it skips through the ranks of people and it takes arms and limbs off. Those cannons will have a point-blank range of about 800 yards. So they're firing really close range here. Later on, when the enemy close up to real up close and personal, what they do is instead of firing a single lump of iron, they fill it with a bucket of bolts and pistol balls and gravels and nails and stones and lumps, and it becomes a giant shotgun. But you can't do that if your army commander has put his infantry in front of your gun, because they won't like that. So here you see the depth of formation needed to work a musket company. By firing with forlorn fire, you get to advance whilst keeping up a continuous amount of shooting. So you can see the Royalist musketeers are slightly outnumbered. They're about outnumbered 2 to 1, but they have 2 guns to counteract that. You may occasionally hear the cry of misfire. That's when muskets don't go off. They don't work all the time, but they're pretty soldier-proof. When there's a misfire, the soldier retires to the rear to a safe area and attempts to clear it. You can see in the far field, one of the Royalist cannons is retreating. They obviously feel that they're too much under threat and they're too valuable to be lost. So you can see by this slow but steady method of firing by forlorn fire, they're keeping up a reasonable level of shooting. However, they're outnumbered 2 to 1. That means there's twice as much lead coming at them as they're sending away from them.
Sergeant, stand the body!
The Royalist musketeers are preparing to fire a more concentrated method. What they're doing here is they're presenting more musket to shoot at once. The firing by files isn't working, it's not driving the Parliament away. So they're going to try something a bit more deadly. It's a salvo fire. It means 3 ranks, maybe 4, probably 3, fire all at once. The advantage is there's lots of bullets going down range. The disadvantage, it means half your soldiers have now got unloaded guns. Right, they're doing all of them. So nobody is going to have a loaded gun when this is done. So if there's any enemy left, they might have a problem. That gives a good indication of how much smoke black powder produces. The stuff we use is modern and clean and doesn't produce a lot of smoke at all compared to the 17th century. So imagine you've got 2,000 guys like that all shooting at once. You can't see anything. We've all heard of friendly fire, and unfortunately it's like that. It's nothing new. In the 17th century, that's a volley.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, we will now.
The sergeants are working hard to keep the troops under control, but they've spotted a threat. The horses, they're a very obvious threat. They're big and mean and nasty and move fast.
I will not give this ground. I will give your blood.
The cavalry have threatened the artillery and sent them away. The artillerymen were pretty often mercenaries and professional soldiers. They're worth keeping alive, so they would surrender. Change sides, shoot at their former colleagues. Prince Rupert's infantry have got a problem now. In front of them, they've got twice as many musketeers shooting at them. Behind them, they've got a body of cavalry which is just recovering from a small charge. Another volley coming up. So that's 3 companies worth of musketeers, really. There's very few organisations that can put that many shooters on the field at once. It could do with fishing. At 50 minutes rather than 20. Yeah. The Parliament Commander has to be deaf. The Parliament Commander has to be wondering how much powder the Royalists are carrying. He can't commit his horse until he's sure they're going to make an effect. And for horse charging on a body of loaded musketeers ready to shoot, that's dangerous. The Royalist troops must be getting close to empty now. You only carry a small amount of ready powder. It's expensive and it's dangerous to carry too much. But the Parliament troops are probably in a similar state. So they've decided to force the issue. They're marching forwards to make the muskets more effective and then fall on with a volley and a charge, club the muskets, draw their swords and actually engage in hand-to-hand combat. So we're going to have 2 salvos together. Parliament forces are clubbing muskets, drawing swords, ready to fall on. Their horse stand ready, but you don't want to advance into a body of 4 lines of musketeers ready to shoot at you. So they'll wait for them to fire. Hope you survive. And then fall on. The Royalist musketeers don't like this. Threatened by horse, threatened by outnumbered shot. They will break and run.
Sealed, not medical, to the commentary box, please. Could we have sealed, not medical, or first aid to the commentary box, please?
Right. Well, as you can see,
Could we have first aid to the commentary box, please?
Yeah, you stay away. You keep that man alright.
right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our short display for now, whilst we attend to the unlucky cavalrymen. In the meantime, if you care to show your appreciation for these ladies and gentlemen who've come out and burn a lot of powder for you on what is a stupidly warm afternoon.